Hello everybody, I'm Nico Sanchez, and welcome to episode 27 of... welcome to episode 26 of Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. I'm coming to you from a very different location as I'm in my mom and my cousin's house, where they're in California at the moment. But never mind about that, because we got another movie to take a look at as we're getting closer to the end of the 1980s. Besides, The Little Mermaid is the final movie in the 1980s that I will discuss on episode 28, which will be the 2021 finale of the show. Yeah, once that's done, we'll get through. But before that, we gotta get through Oliver and Company in the next episode, and then we'll get to The Little Mermaid, and that'll be the 2021 finale. But when we get to 2022, we go into the 1990s, so stay tuned for it. For now, though, let's get into today's episode because it's all about solving cases with a mouse. Basil, to be exact. So let's get into it. For episode 26, we're taking a look at The Great Mouse Detective, as we continue here on Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. Guys, this is going to be so exciting. I can't wait for it to show you what we can do together, one step at a time. If you haven't seen episode 25, our previous episode was about the Black Cauldron. Yeah, which brought the series back from the dead. So go watch it now. The link to it is up there at the top right corner of the screen. Give it a watch. See it for yourself. It's definitely worth a watch. I recommend you do so. Everything you're about to see is all taken from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, so be warned as we go along. And now we're aiming for a delay. I feel a celebration going on as we prepare you to take a look at The Great Mouse Detective. Are you ready? Then let's begin. So, about the movie. The Great Mouse Detective is a 1986 American animated mystery adventure film produced by Walt Disney Pictures Animation and released by Walt Disney Pictures, the 26th Disney animated feature film. The film was directed by Bernie Matheson, David Maincher, and the team of John Musker and Ron Clements, who later directed The Little Mermaid from 1989 and Aladdin from 1992. And we'll get to both, and we'll get to those in future episodes. So stay tuned for that. As you know, The Little Mermaid will be on episode 28. The Little Mermaid is on episode 28. Aladdin, episode 30. So please stay tuned for that. Besides, episode 29 is going to be Beauty and the Beast. So please stay... Well, actually, no. Actually, Aladdin is episode 31. And Beauty and the Beast will be episode 30. Besides, episode 29 is actually The Rescuers Down Under. So please stay tuned for these videos coming soon. The film was also known as The Adventures of the Great Mouse Detective for 1992 theatrical re-release and Basil, the Great Mouse Detective in some countries. The main characters are all mice and rats living in Victorian London. Based on the children's book series Basil on Baker Street by E. Titus, it draws heavily on the tradition of Sherlock Holmes with a heroic mouse who consciously emulates the detective. Titus named the main character after actor Basil Rathbone, who is best remembered for playing Holmes in the film and whose voice, sampled from 1966 reading of The Red-Headed League, was the voice of Holmes in this film. 19 years after his death, Sherlock Holmes also mentions Basil as one of his aliases. One of his aliases, and in the Arthur Conan Doyle story, The Adventure of Black Peter. The Great Mouse Detective was released to theaters on July 2nd, 1986, to positive reviews and financial success, in sharp contrast to the box office underperformance of Disney's previous animated feature film, The Black Cauldron, which again is in the previous episode of the series, so I highly recommend you go watch it after you watch this video. But yeah, moving on to the stats here. Movie stats are as follows. Directed by John Musker, David Minchin, Ron Clements, and Bernie Matheson. Story by Pete Young, Vance Gary, Steve Hewlett, John Musker, Ron Clements, Bruce Morris, Matthew O'Callaghan, Bernie Matheson, Dave Minicher, and Mel Shaw, based on Basil on Baker Street by E. Titus and Paul Galdone, produced by Bernie Matheson, starring Vincent Price, Barry Ingham, Val Bettine, Suzanne Polishek, Candido, Dina Chesney, Eva Brenner, and Alan Young. Forgot to take out the underline. Yeah, but that's okay. Music by Harry Mancini. Production companies are Walt Disney Pictures, Walt Disney Pictures Animation, and Silver Screen Partners 2. Distributed by Buena Vista Distribution. Release date July 2nd, 1986. Running time is 74 minutes. Countries United States. Language is English. Budget $16 million. Box office, they have $14 million to be exact. Box office is $38.7 million, which is a success. Yeah, I told you so. Moving on. Let's get into the plot. It's a big one, so brace yourself, people. Here I go. In London, in June 1987, in June 1897, a young mouse named Olivia Flaversham is celebrating her birthday with her widowed toy maker father, Hiram. Suddenly, a bat with a crippled wing and a peg leg bursts into Flaversham's workshop, kidnapping Mr. Flaversham. Olivia searches to find the famed Great Mouse attendant named Basil on Baker Street, but gets lost. A surgeon named Dr. David Q. Dawson, who had just returned from a lengthy service of the Mouse Queen 66th Regiment in Afghanistan, meets Olivia and escorts her to Basil's residence. Upon their arrival, Basil is initially indifferent, but when Olivia mentions the bat that abducted her father, Basil realizes that Olivia saw Fidget, the assistant of Professor Ratigan, a villain that Basil has attempted to arrest for years. It is then revealed that Ratigan kidnapped Hiram to create a clockwork robot, which mimics the Queen of the Mice, so that Ratigan can rule England. Flaversham initially refuses to participate in the scheme, but capitulates when Ratigan threatens to harm Olivia. Ratigan plans to usurp the queen and become supreme ruler of all Mousetown. No. This is not good. Meanwhile, Fidget appears through the window, and they attempt to chase him. Basil, along with Dawson and Olivia, take Toby, Sherlock Holmes' pet basset hound, to track down Fidget's scent, where they locate him in a toy shop, stealing clockwork mechanisms and toy soldiers' uniforms. Fidget ambushes Olivia and captures her. Basil and Dawson pursue Fidget, but are easily outsmarted. While searching the shop, Dawson discovers Fidget's checklist, to which Basil does some chemical tests to discover the list came from a riverfront near the Thames. Near the Thames. Basil and Dawson disguise themselves as sailors and head to a tavern called the Rat Trap. They find Fidget and follow him to Ratigan's headquarters, but are caught in an ambush by Ratigan. Ratigan has them tied to a spring-loaded mousetrap and connected with a Rube Goldberg machine laid out to kill them both. Ratigan sets out for Buckingham Palace, where his henchmen hijack the rail guard's rolls and kidnaps the queen. Basil deduces the trap's weakness and escapes along with Dawson and Olivia just in time. Whoa, unbelievable. This is not going to be good. But brace yourselves, people. It's on right now. At Buckingham Palace, Ratigan forces Flaversham to operate the Toy Queen, while the real one is taken to be fed to Felicia, Ratigan's pet cat. The Toy Queen declares Ratigan the ruler of all Mousetown, and he announces his dictatorial plans for his new subjects. After Basil, Dawson, and Olivia save Flaversham and the real queen, they restrain Fidget and Ratigan's other henchmen, while Toby chases Felicia, leading to Felicia thinking she escaped Toby by jumping onto a high stone fence to be manipulated by the Royal Guard dogs waiting on the other side. Basil seizes control of the mechanical wing, making it denounce Ratigan as a fraud while breaking it into pieces. The crowd, enraged by Ratigan's treason, turns on him, and he escapes on his dirigible with Fidget, holding Olivia hostage. Basil, Dawson, and Flaversham create their own craft with a matchbox and some small helium-filled balloons held together by the Union Jack. Ratigan tosses Fidget overboard to lighten the load, and he attempts to drive the dirigible himself. Basil jumps onto the dirigible to confront Ratigan, causing it to crash straight into the Big Ben clock tower. Ugh. The suspense is killing me. Totally killing me. But yeah, you get the point. Inside the clock tower, where Ratigan still holds Olivia hostage, Basil manages to get Ratigan's cape stuck on some gears. He rescues Olivia and safely delivers her to Flaversham. Ratigan breaks free and attacks Basil, eventually knocking him to the dirigible. When the clock strikes 10 o'clock, Yeah, when the clock strikes 10 o'clock, the bell hits for the loudest sound, causing Ratigan to fall for his death, taking Basil with him. However, Basil grabs a part of Ratigan's dirigible and saves himself. Back at Baker Street, Basil and Dawson recount their adventures. After the Flavershamps leave the house, a distraught new client arrives and solicits Basil and Dawson's help, with Basil noting that Dawson is his trusted associate, prompting Dawson to remain and assist Basil. Whew, that was a big plot, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe it. We finally made it to the end, guys. Let's move on to the voice cast. Another big one for you guys. Get ready. Barry Ingham as Basil, a mouse detective. Vincent Price as Professor Ratigan, Basil's nemesis. He and Basil are long established arch enemies. Val Betton as Major Dr. David G.Q. Dawson, previously of the Queen's 66th Regiment in Afghanistan. He eventually becomes Basil's associate, friend, and personal biographer. Dawson also serves as the film's narrator. Suzanne Polachek as Olivia Flattersham, an 8-year-old Scottish mouse who seeks Basil's help in fighting her toymaker father. Candy Candido as Fidget, Ratigan's bubbling bat right-hand henchman. He has a crippled wing and a peg leg, and as a result of the former, he cannot fly. During the final battle, Ratigan betrays Fidget by throwing him off the side of his flying machine, and he falls into the Thames. He is revealed to have survived the fall in the book. Candida also voices a reprobate in the pub. If you're looking for something like this, then you know where to go. Moving on, Alan Young as Hiram Flaversham, Olivia's affectionate Scottish father. He works as a toy maker and is kidnapped by Fidget to make the Queen Mousestoria robot for the evil Ratigan. Oh no, this is not good. Frank Welker as Toby, Basil's loyal basset hound. He technically belongs to Sherlock Holmes, who lives above Basil. In the Sherlock Holmes canon, Toby, who's not a basset but half spaniel, half lurcher, is owned by Mr. Sherman, a bird stuffer and owner of a menagerie, who willingly lends him to Holmes whenever requested. Frank Welker also voices Felicia, Ratigan's large and pompous pet cat. Ratigan calls upon her by ringing a special bell to dispose of traitors or anyone who makes him happy. She is chased by Toby, only to be mauled by rearguard dogs during the climax of the film. Diana Chesney as Mrs. Judson, Basil's housekeeper. She adores Basil, but gets very annoyed when he mistreats her good pillows by shooting them with a pistol. Ava Brenner as Queen Mousestoria, the Mouse Queen of the United Kingdom, who Ratigan attempts to dispose. Basil Rathbone as Sherlock Holmes, the famous human detective who lives above Basil. His voice is taken from the 1966 Caedmon Records recording of the Sherlock Holmes story, The Red-Headed League. Laurie Main as Dr. Watson, the medical associate / partner of Sherlock Holmes, who also lives above Basil. Unlike Rathbone, voice samples of Nigel Bruce were not used for the voice of Watson, as he has died in 1953. Oh no, that reminds me of Holmes and Watson. Definitely onto you. I know. Wayne Allwine, Tony Anselmo, Walker Edmondson, and Val Benton as Ratigan's dogs. By the way, Wayne Allwine used to voice Mickey Mouse before his death. He's currently voiced by Brett Ewan, remember that. And Tony Anselmo, he's still the voice of Donald Duck to this day. And finally, Melissa Manchester as Miss Kitty Mouse, who appears in Let Me Be Good to You. Let me be good to you, my friends. You have no idea what you're about to see. So that's all. Let's get into the production. Another big one. So here we go. The idea of doing an animated film about Sherlock Holmes with animals was first discussed about during the production of The Rescuers. Veteran layout artist Joe Hale is credited with suggesting to adapt the children's book series Basil of Baker Street by Eve Titus, but the project fell into development limbo because of similarities to The Rescuers. Yeah, I know. In 1982, Ron Clements proposed adapting the children's book series into an animated feature, and along with story artist Pete Young, it was pitched to Disney president and CEO Ron Miller, who approved the project. And for those who are not familiar with Rescuers, please go check it out on episode 23 after you're done watching this video. Yeah, moving on. Moving on. It was pitched to Disney president and CEO Ron Miller, who approved the project. Again, earlier in his career, Clements created a 15-minute Sherlock Holmes animated short recorded on Super 8 film. Because the animators were displeased with the direction in the Black Cauldron was heading. Yeah, was pleased with the direction the Black Cauldron was heading. Basil of Baker Street was approved as an alternate project. I know. But Bernie Matheson and John Musker were assigned as the original directors, while Dave Vincenner was also added as co-director. Miller became the producer for the film. The first idea for the victim was Olivia, and then an older and potential love interest whom Dawson falls for. But Miller suggested the character to be a little girl, someone they, the audience, can feel sorry for. One of the dropped characters was a stool pigeon who always hung around Buckingham Palace and tipped Basil off about the skullduggery. The writers dropped the characters, deciding for Basil to figure it out for himself. So yes, everything needs to know. With the departure of Miller in 1984, the board of directors appointed Michael, who had resigned from Paramount Pictures, to become the new CEO. Eisner recruited former production head Jeffrey Katzenberg to become studio chairman over Disney's film division. Following a story reel screening of Basil, Eisner and Katzenberg complained about the slow pacing of the story and ordered for rewrites before animation would commence. By the way, Katzenberg left Disney later on to become one of the founders of DreamWorks. Yeah, DreamWorks Pictures and DreamWorks Animation. So, yeah, remember that. Although the intended release was set for Christmas 1987, Michael Eisner slashed the projected production budget at $24 million in half, where it was greenlit at $10 million, and moved the release date up to July 1986, giving the production team 1 year to complete the film. To replace Miller, who had been producer, Feature Animation Joint Chairman Roy E. Disney assigned Matheson to serve as director/producer, but finding both tasks too much laborious, Matheson decided to remain as producer. Musker and Michener remained as directors, but with a shortened production schedule, Clements became as an additional director. Whew, man, that's good enough. Following the box office underperformance of the 1985 Paramount/Amblin film Young Sherlock Holmes, Eisner decided to rename Basil of Baker Street into The Great Mouse Detective, feeling the name Basil was too English. Oh, way too English. The retitling of the film proved to be unpopular with the filmmakers, so much that the animator Ed Gumber wrote a satirical inter-office memo, allegedly by studio executive Peter Schneider, which gave preceding Disney films generic titles such as Silly Little Man, Help a Girl, The Wonderful Elephant Who Could Really Fly, The Little Deer Who Grew Up, The Girl with the See-Through Shoes, Two Dogs Fall in Love, Puppy Taken Away, and a Boy, a Bear, and a Big Black Cat. These generic titles would later become a category on Jeopardy. I heard Jeopardy before. This is Jeopardy! Moving on to the casting. Following a succession of American and British actors who read for the part of Basil, Royal Shakespeare actor Barry Ingham won the role within 6 minutes of his audition, so much that a compelling portion of it was used in the finished film. Val Batton was co-director Ron Clements' first choice for Dawson. For Olivia, Suzanne Polishek was selected over hundreds of other applicants, while Ali Young, who had voiced Scrooge McDuck for Mickey's Christmas Carol, was selected to voice her father, Hiram, because of his authentic Scottish brogue. When the filmmakers watched the 1950 comedy film Champagne for Caesar to study Ronald Coleman's performance as a possible model for Basil, they immediately decided to cast Vincent Price, who also starred in the film, as Radigan, a veteran actor for 52 years. Price was willing to do an audition, commenting if anybody but Disney had asked me, I would have been offended. Following a voice test, veteran voice artist Candy Candido recorded his dialogue for Fidget in 1 hour. To heighten the pitch, the tape recording of his voice was sped up. Candido's natural voice was cut for one character shouting, "Get off, you! Get off, you eight-legged bum!" Oh, it's on now. We got to animation. Another big one. Brace yourself, people. This is gonna be big. Basil was first modeled on Bing Crosby, but the animators eventually took inspiration from Leslie Howard. Initially, Ratigan had been designed as thin, Weasley, and rat-like. Following the screening of Champagne for Caesar, Glenn Keane noted that the following casting of Price, his with H in between two black brackets, expressive voice and attitude inspired us to further redesign the character. Additionally, during one story week, the Glenn Keane decided to base the stature of Ratigan on then Disney CEO Ron Miller, who was a 6'6" former football player for the Los Angeles Rams. Furthermore, Keane lifted his personality as he was thumbing through these photographs of people of London in the 1800s of railroad men, and there was this one guy smoking a cigar. He had a top hat, and there was just something about this guy, this Ratigan. This rat-sucking cigar, completely dressed to the hilt. He was sharp and perfect, and he's a soul rat, dressed like a king, and he lives as a king. The following supervising animators included Mark Hand for Basil, Hendel Butoy for Dawson, Rob Minkoff for Olivia, Andreas Deja for Queen Mouse Toria, Ruben Aquino for Mrs. Judson, and Mike Gabrielle for Tony and Felicia. The original finale was to take place on the hands of Big Ben, with Ratigan eventually falling to his demise. However, later artist Mike Peraza approached Busker with the idea of restaging the final confrontation so the characters would break through the face of the Big Ben, with the grinding clockwork gears providing added menace, in which Busker agreed. Peraza's inspiration for the scene was a Japanese animated film, The Castle of Cagliostro, from 1979. The feature film debut of animator Hayao Miyazaki, which is part of the Lupin III franchise. The Castle of Cagliostro, which Peraza was a fan of, featured a climactic scene involving characters amidst giant turning gears in a clock tower. Number 18. Forgot to take that off. What was I supposed to say here? But yeah, moving on. Peraza and his team, when it said, was sent to London for video reference and were granted unprecedented access to the clockworks inside Big Ben. Because the bells would chime at every quarter hour, the team completed their research in 1 hour. Whew, man, that's a lot of fun. Back at the feature animation building, animators Phil Niblick and Ted Glillo spent months designing the interior of Big Ben, with each gear produced as wireframe graphics on a computer that was printed out and traced onto animation cells, onto which the colors and characters were added. The 2-minute climax scene thus used computer-generated imagery, or CGI, making it the first Disney film to extensively use computer animation, a fact that Disney used to promote the film during marketing. The film was the last work to feature Eric Larson as animation consultant before his retirement. Larson was the last of Disney's Nine-Old Men, the group that had defined much of Disney's theatrical direction since the 1930s. The character of Dr. Dawson was modeled on Larson as a tribute. We will miss you, Eric Larson. Good luck with your retirement. Move on to the music. Usually, for a Disney animated feature, there was no soundtrack album released alongside the film. It was released in 1992 alongside the film's reissue under its new title by Verese Sarabande, the only Disney cartoon to have an original soundtrack on the label today, and the only one not to be issued under a Walt Disney imprint. The album marked the debut of Henry Mancini for score composition of an animated feature aside from the animated opening for the Pink Panther. Initially, Mancini composed a song titled Are You the One Who Loves Me to serve as parody of a Victorian British musical. Already in rough animation, the song was recorded by Shani Wallace. However, Katzenberg and the new management desired a more contemporary song as they would help make the film more marketable. Michael Jackson was considered by Eisner to voice a character who would enter the saloon, confront Basil, and sing a song at the tavern, but the suggestion was met with uncomfortable silence, for which Eisner withdrew the idea. Eisner later proposed for Madonna to perform the song. Eventually, Melissa Manchester was brought in. She wrote and performed Let Me Be Good to You, by which the rough animation had to be retimed and often reanimated for to properly sync with the song. Mancini also co-wrote 2 of the film's 3 original songs, The World's Greatest Criminal Mind and Goodbye Soon, both performed by Vincent Price. And that's all for the songs. The original songs performed in the film include number 1, The World's Greatest Criminal Mind, written by Henry Mancini, Larry Grossman, and Ella Pita, performed by Vincent Price. Number 2, Let Me Be Good to You, written by Melissa Manchester, performed by Melissa Manchester. Written and performed by Melissa Manchester. And number 3, Goodbye So Soon, written by Henry Mancini, Larry Grossman, and Ellen Pita, performed by Vincent Price. Whew, so that's all. Let's go to release. During the film's initial theatrical release, the film was accompanied with the short Clock Cleaners in the home media. Following the theatrical re-release in February 1992, the film was released on VHS and Laserdisc in July 1992 as part of the Walt Disney Classics series. It was placed onto moratorium on April 30th, 1993. It was released again on VHS on August 3rd, 1999, with a game sheet inside it as part of the contest, and on DVD in 2002 with a short making-of featurette. In the United Kingdom, it was first released on VHS in 1992, followed by re-releases in 1993 and 1995. A Mystery in the Mist edition of the Remastered Tenta was released on DVD on April 13, 2010, and on Blu-ray disc on October 9, 2012. Unlike previous home media releases, which all used the 1992 reissue title print, The Adventures of the Remastered Tenta, this DVD restored the original 1986 title card, which had previously not been since the original 1986 release. The DVD also had the film in its 1.78 by 1 widescreen aspect ratio, which brings it closer to its original theatrical aspect ratio. The Blu-ray edition is region-free and thus can be played in any region of the world. The Blu-ray was finally released in the UK on November 9th, 2015, and released in France on Blu-ray on October 20th, 2015. Whew, man, that's a lot of fun. Let's go to the reception, starting with critical reaction. I know. On their syndicated television show, At the Movies, the film received a 2 thumbs up rating from critics Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert. In his print review for the Chicago Sun-Times, for the Chicago Tribune, Siskel enthusiastically praised the film as the most truly memorable animated feature in 25 years. And that's a lot, I know. That travels a wide emotional range, taking us from cuddly to scary, from recognition to wonder. Likewise, in his print review for the Chicago Sun-Times, Ebert gave the film 3 stars out of 4, in which he praised the film's animation and compared the film to that of Disney's golden age. He summarized that the result is a movie like The Great Mountain Tenta, which looks more fully animated than anything in some 30 years. I know, amazing. London's Time Out magazine wrote, as usual with film noir, ... is the villain who steals the heart as one is rooting for in the breathtaking showdown high up in the cars and ratchets of Big Ben. Nina Dargent of the New York Times applauded that the heroes are appealing. The T in the word "the" is between two brackets. Remember that. The villains has that special Disney flair. Humorous blackguards who really enjoyed being evil, and the script was witty and not overly sentimental. Joanna Steinmetz, also for the Chicago Tribune, rated the film 3.5 stars out of 4. Writing, this movie is cute cute, but it's a higher grade of cute than Rescuers from 1977 and The Fox and the Hound 1981. Again, The Rescuers, 2 episodes ago. Fox and the Hound, 1 episode ago. Go watch it now. Yeah, The Rescuers, 3 episodes ago. The Rescuers, episode 23. Fox and the Hound, episode 24. Go watch it right now. The key to good Disney animation is character and facial expression, and detective abounds in both. Alex Stewart of the reviewed the Remastered Detective for White Dwarf number 83 and stated that after their dismal fudge of the Black Cauldron, it's good to see the Disney Studios taking a step. However, cautious towards the world of animation as it is today. The style is looser and more vigorous, and in a climactic fight inside Big Ben, effectively amalgamates computer-drawn clockwork with hand-drawn characters. The review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes reported that the film received an 80% approval rating with an average rating of 7.12 out of 10 based on 25 reviews. The website's consensus states that The Great Master Detective may not rank with Disney's classics, but it's an undeniable, entertaining picture with some stylish, dark visuals. Metacritic gave the film a score of 73 based on 13 reviews, indicating generally favorable reviews. So that's everything to know. And finally, for the box office, the film grossed around $50 million worldwide against a budget of over $14 million for its initial release. Its inexpensive success after its predecessor's underperformance gave the new management of Disney confidence in the viability of their animation department, though it was surpassed at the box office by An American Tail. Retitled as The Adventures of the Remastered Detective, the film was released theatrically on February 14, 1992, where it grossed $13,288,756. I'm pulling one of my friends. $13,288,756. That's a lot of money, my friends. Ka-ching! The Remastered Detective has had a lifetime North American gross of $38.7 million across its original release and reissue. And so yeah, that's all I gotta say. And that's the end of The Remastered Detective. Yay! So, final thoughts rating for the movie. I gotta say, The Remastered Detective is definitely a must-watch for everybody. I watched the movie a lot of times, and I can't wait to share with you guys in the near future. So thus, with all that said, on a scale of 10, I'm gonna give The Remastered Detective a score of 9.5 out of 10. That's right, a 9.5 out of 10, amazing to perfect. That's everything you need to know. So that's right, it's a half rating. 9.5 out of 10 is what I'm giving the film. So just as I expected, it's amazing to perfect. No doubt, that is definitely one of the best. So good luck with that. Great job, Disney. You deserved it. However, it's just my personal conservative opinion. Feel free to agree or disagree in the comment section below. And with that, it's over. Yay! Thanks for watching today's episode of Movie History. Walt Disney Animation Studios. There are only 2 episodes left this year, and then the rest of the series will be in 2022. So get ready for it, guys. Don't forget, tomorrow's episode of Logo History will be about TV1, TV2, and TV3, as they're all from Malaysia. So stay tuned for that. Also, we have a new episode of brought to you over 7 hours Logo History Retold coming out tomorrow, as it'll be about it's gonna be about Call of Duty, so don't miss it, guys. And the next episode of Logo History 2 is gonna be about WTOL, KXAS TV, KNVL, XHRIO, TDT, Subway Fresh Fit for Kids, and The Addams Family 2. So be on the lookout for that coming soon. And later today on Saturday Supremacy, Jewel Pad with Battle, Pokemon Diary, and Emoji Boss Biography. We'll be taking a look at the Singing Flowers, so stay tuned for that. Also, on Sunday, we begin the final Moshi monthly series of 2021, Merry Moshi Twistmas, and a 3-episode series, all starring Sleepy Paws, the Snoozy Koala, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, you're a great audience. Thank you for watching. I'm because such as you yourself. See you next time on Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. Come back and see us again real soon for episode 27 as we take a look at Oliver and Company. This should be pretty good. We got a cat ready to feel the heat and feel the jazz. So brace yourself, people. I'll see you real soon for episode 27 as we take a look at Oliver and Company. Don't forget, next year we have a new series premiere as the Endless Monster Show, a live-streamed reality competition series, so stay tuned for that. Also, season 2 of the Moshi Ashley will begin very shortly, as well as season 4 of Logo History Moshi, so be on the lookout for that. Otherwise, you are a great audience. Thank you all for watching today. I'll see you soon for episode 27 of Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios, if you take a look at Oliver and Company. Until then, please remember to leave a like, share this video with your friends, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, turn on notifications to miss the video. Please subscribe to the notifications on to miss a new video from me, as we're on the road to 1,500 subscribers. Thank you for watching. You have a great audience, and I'll talk to you guys again next time. right here. I'm Miguel Sanchez for Movie History, Walt Disney Animation Studios. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Like, favorite, subscribe, and I will see you in another video. Laters!